Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Sequeled. This week we're talking Green Room. James challenged me last week about what I would think of a Green Room sequel, and I racked my brain hard trying to figure out what a Green Room sequel would be like. We're talking the sequel to Green Room. I'm just going to get right into it, and I'll just tell you kind of what I was thinking was like a runaway movie, like a possible movie where like it's just gonna be like kind of like The Fugitive or like Blade Runner,
which I've seen Blade Runner, but I haven't seen The Fugitive though. Exactly.
Terminator 2. Okay, so like if you've seen Terminator 2, right. Everyone's seen Terminator 2. So I'm thinking like Terminator 2 in the style of Green Room. That sounds weird. Yeah, it sounds really weird. There's not gonna be Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, obviously, but
can we get Robert Patrick though?
Yeah, we definitely can.
Okay.
He's definitely gonna be the leader.
Oh, okay.
Of the skinheads.
Oh, cool. I can see this actually too.
Okay, so basically, I want it to be that. Pat and Amber. Those are the two characters that survive at the end. Imogen Poots and the late great Anton Yelchin. Obviously, in this fictional universe where this movie never gets made. Right. He never passed away, okay? So he's still in the role, or however we cast it properly. But anyways, I have my notes right here, as always, because I can't remember anything. Fancy. But I want it to be, because last week I'm just tired of using phones. But, okay, so it's like they're going to be running from neo-Nazis. Okay. But basically have been split up. In the beginning, it'll be like Amber's still in like Oregon, because I assume that's where she was from. Right. And then maybe Pat went back to like LA or something. It's like at a show. So it'd all start with like at a show here, maybe at the Whiskey or something, where he's like just at like a hardcore show. Yeah. And I figured we're gonna up the ante with the music this time. It's not just gonna be like metal and punk, but it's gonna be like hardcore. Like it's gonna be crazy and shit. Like just automatically off the bat, the music will be crazy. So then it like gives it a little bit. The stakes, the ante is upped. But yeah, so he'd be at like a show, and maybe he sees like Tad, and Tad's like, dude, they're looking for you. Because I figured bring Tad back since he had nothing to do with.
Who's Tad again?
Tad was the guy who booked them for like the burrito show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I call it the burrito show. Right, yeah. But anyways, like the Mexican restaurant, and they were pissed, and that's why they get the gig at this like neo-Nazi place. Yeah. And they're like the far right people. They're not alt right, right? They're far right. Yeah. I don't know. Nazis. Sounds about right. Yeah. Sounds about right. The sound about right. Yeah. That would be the new band.
Little pun there.
Yeah. But anyways, so he's at a show. Maybe it starts there, and Tad's there, and it's like, oh man, I haven't seen you in a long time after you caused all that trouble or something. Right. And then
you can maybe add a little joke, and they're like, I see you still wearing cum in your hair, because they say that in the first one.
Yeah, something like that. But then basically he would be like instigated to then go, like, oh, you should go, or something like you should go pay a visit to Amber, maybe, I was thinking. Okay. And then so then he would be like traveling up there, but then kind of finds out that he's on the run from the cops too. Because I mean, they did fucking kill people. You can't just kill people, even if it's in self-defense. They were kind of in the wrong because they were trespassing. Right?
At the end, yeah.
So it's still shady, right? Unless
it was like revenge at the end.
Yeah, so, I just don't see them like going to the police and like going through all. It just seems like a headache, and they're punks. I just feel like they didn't go through any of that. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe they're on the run from the police and like some crazy Nazis, like
maybe more for questioning also, and possible like and being involved with the murder. Like they're not necessarily wanted for like murder, but they're wanted for questioning and stuff.
And they just they did Dipset and like separated, and
because that was a massacre that went on at the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't just like be involved in that and then like run, and like I'm assuming they ran away, or do you think they waited for the cops? Well,
Macon Blair did call the cops, but what the hell did he say? He just said like there's a ton of dead bodies. Like that's all you could really say. And there's drugs.
I forgot Macon's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He promised to go get the police.
I found him to be an interesting character because he seemed like he wasn't totally for everything. Like he was a skinhead, but at the same time he was questioning like, oh, everything here is just not going right, and he was trying to keep everything in control, and that's what made it interesting. Same thing with Patrick Stewart, but Macon more so because he was like just you could tell he like had his heart half in it, where like Patrick Stewart's like a full-blooded skinhead since the days of Star Trek,
right?
You know, because he's always bald, like Jean-Luc Picard. But anyways, like I just felt like Macon's character was far more interesting. It'd be cool to bring him back, but like which side would he go? Would he still be a skinhead and be like, okay, we got to kill these people who killed everyone, like wanting to kill Pat and Amber, or would he be more of the character who's like still begrudgingly involved in it, like, or it like doesn't want to be involved in it but still involved in it, or is he like just not involved in it at all and he's just escaped and run away? Maybe he's on the run too. That would be a good one. Yeah, they're all three on the run together.
So I like the idea though of making Blair like he could change sides. Like overall at the end of the movie he was just fed up. It's like, I want to go to jail, man. Like I remember that scene pretty well. But he could be pissed that he was in jail for maybe like a year or 2 years, and maybe like he obviously like probably would join the skinheads in jail. I feel like
you're right.
So maybe he would have got reignited or something, came out crazier. So that's a cool thing that you can add on to the film. But the Elefante in the room, I feel like with Anton actually being passed away, and like I feel like this actually possibly like having a sequel. Do you think you'd try to like, if this was actually gonna get greenlit, do you think greenlit would they recast Anton, or would you think just go with the new character overall? Maybe
I would go with, to be honest, I wouldn't. I know I kind of pitched it, but thinking about it now, if this was like, I pitched it as if this is never gonna happen because it's not gonna happen,
right?
But if this was gonna happen, I would basically like, what I would do is he would die in the opening scene, and that would bring you in. Like that would be the hook. He would die in the opening scene, but also it'd be like they'd figure out some, like, I'm not digitally recreate him like Princess Leia,
right?
In what is it, Rogue One? But I would do it where he's like kind of dies like somewhat off screen or something. We might use some footage that they didn't use from the first movie or something. Yeah, just like him at a show, and then someone takes him out back.
Gotcha.
And then that's like the beginning of the movie, and then it's kind of just revolves around Amber like trying to survive.
Right.
This is a weird like poll, but I definitely had a vibe like if this was going to be a movie, I wanted it to kind of be like, I know it's a bad movie, but Battle Royale 2, you've seen it, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, I enjoyed it. I know it's bad. But, like, it is a bad movie.
Compared to the first, yeah.
Compared to the first, but I think it's so insane that it exists that it kind of, like, it doesn't turn around being good again, but it's just, like, it has such an insane plot. You're like, what? Like, I could kind of see a same plot with this one where it's, like, she starts like a group of people that are trying to take out all skinheads ever. Like they're basically anti-terrorists in a way. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like that. That's all I could think of was thinking about that. I'm like, it could kind of be like that, even though that is a bad movie. I'll admit it. Like I love Battle Royale 1, but the second one is not good at all. But there are reasons for it not being good. But anyways, getting back to Green Room, that's kind of the idea I came up with. I know it's like barely fleshed out, but
no, you have the plot premise. Like we have the back of the Blu-ray cover.
Right? Yeah, we have the back of the Blu-ray cover. That's all we're looking for.
Yeah.
And like, I just feel like this is never gonna happen. And I did the best I could, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you tell us.
I'm curious.
Yeah, tell us what you think in the comments about how shitty my idea is, but also tell us what you would like us to review for the next episodes of sequels. Not the next one, because I know what you're going to be reviewing for the next one. This is one of your favorite movies, and I think you'll be excited to come up with the sequel idea for it. It came out a couple years ago. I really loved it. You really loved it, but It Follows. And this is the dope steelbook I didn't even know existed, but you told me about it.
Exclusive to Best Buy.
Yeah, exclusive to Best Buy.
Yeah. They have the cool steelbooks, and they're really cool. Like, this is really cool artwork that I never knew existed. When I saw it, I was like, I have to have this.
Yeah, I don't know if I like steelbooks, but I think that one's awesome.
Yeah. But no, cool. Stoked. This is going to be tough, but down to see what I can come up with.
All right, so next week we'll see you guys. We'll be talking about It Follows sequel on Sequeled. But in the meantime, you can comment down below. Let us know what you'd like us to try and figure out a sequel to, because eventually I'd like it if people just kind of chimed in and then we didn't have to challenge each other. I enjoy challenging each other, but I'm like, dude, it's sometimes kind of hard to think of one.
Right.
So let's.
What the hell am I going to challenge you to do next week?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess you got to tune in next week to find out. But give us some suggestions.
Yeah. See you guys next week.